dump truck. Shorty got a dump truck. Dump truck. All the niggas love her, now she back it up. Back it up. Wild low, shake it fast and drop it low. She's a boy favorite tour like a dump truck. Dump truck. Dump truck. Shorty got a dump truck. Dump truck. All the niggas love her, now she back it up. Back it up. Wild low, shake it fast and drop it low. She's a boy favorite tour like a dump truck. Dump truck, wild low, going girl, back it up. Small clothes, no clothes, pair heels, she don't need a lot with us. Wild low like a dump truck, and I love them chocolate, call her Wonka. Type of shit that make you gotta fuck her, she my favorite toy like a new Tonka. Told her, listen, I'm a cool chick, I'm from North Philly and I'm part roster. She replied, I'm your new bitch, cause I'm cute and thick, call me Cookie Monster. Told her I ain't with the cute shit, I'm tryna get rich and see a doggy posture. She replied, I'm on the same shit, and I treat the dick like a pacifier. Walk light, but she talk heavy. Small frame, but that ass heavy. Lot of ass like a box Chevy, got her pink panties looking like spaghetti. She make it clap like it's a celebration. I watch her drop it like it's confetti. She a people pleaser like Little Caesar, on my way to see it cause she hot and ready. Dump truck, shorty got a dump truck. Dump truck. All the niggas love her, now she back it up. Back it up. Wild low, shake it fast and drop it low. She's a boy favorite tour like a dump truck. Dump truck. Dump truck. Shorty got a dump truck. Dump truck. All the niggas love her, now she back it up. Back it up. Wild low, shake it fast and drop it low. She's a boy favorite tour like a dump truck. I'ma fuck her till the dick shines. I'm a brand new addiction. She nasty, even if it's ashy. She gon' give my dick a spit shine. And you know that I be with the shit. Turn that kitty to a slip slide. That pussy grip squeeze like a boa. I'ma bend her up like a bow. I give him dick, that type of dick. Make him come in Tuesday, call me Noah. Pussy spitting like a cobra. I'ma fuck you to a coma. Let your body in your curves too. I'ma drive you like Daytona. Leave you sweaty like a sauna. That's what happened when the sex good. Leave your soul up in the solar. That's what happened when I bite good. You a big freak or just talk good. Paul Bunyan, how I drop wood. Type of shit that make it wanna cuff a nigga. Gotta acting like a cop would. I hit to the beat as I fuck up her sheets. Shout out my cousin Clint Beastwood. Dump truck, shorty got a dump truck. Dump truck. All the niggas love her, now she back it up. Back it up. Wild low, shake it fast and drop it low. She's a boy favorite tour like a dump truck. Dump truck. Dump truck. Shorty got a dump truck. Dump truck. All the niggas love her, now she back it up. Back it up. Wild low, shake it fast and drop it low. She's a boy favorite tour like a dump truck.
It don't matter with you, man. It truly don't matter. Oh my gosh. Guess who decided to come back?
Yes, I'm back. Looking like Aunt Jemima. Damn it.
So good. Shout out to Butterfly Blackout for holding us down last week.
Yes, that's my girl. I love her.
So
I love
those
all
of you,
the ladies of Truth Vibe.
there you go. Those you don't know, last week was E's born day.
Yes.
She's 35.
Uh-huh.
So how was the born day weekend, and the dinner? How did we go?
You know me. I'm the mother of the universe. My birthday is Mother's Day weekend, always, sometimes on Mother's Day. So I just taken.
Oh, really?
all
That's crazy because my birthday falls on Father's Day every once in a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had a good day, and you know, I'm ready for the next year to come and see what's.
Well, I mean, was it kind of? I know a lot of people are, feeling a little type of way. Oh, my born day during this pandemic.
Okay.
So I really didn't get a chance to truly enjoy. I've always been proud of my age. Like I'll be in 1 month, 2 days, I'll be 46.
Good for you.
Thank you. So it's just like if we're still on, because on Monday we're supposed to be. So we'll talk about it in a second. But
right?
I just no, it's Monday. Monday 6 a.m. We'll talk about that. But it's like I've had born days before.
And
so
we'll have more if we don't if we
so.
don't go outside and be dumb. I don't get people. Listen. I am thankful for the every second, minute, hour, month, year that I have, whether I say how many I've had or not.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
women
but
don't do that. Y'all got
yeah,
problems.
it's just it's not our fault that we are discriminated against based on a lot of things, including our age. That's just the way it is.
Some people understand what you're saying. I understand.
So it's just a handicap that I won't allow to be used against me,
Understood.
and it's unfortunate, but I'm rocking with it because. I mean, you probably won't know if you don't already know, so that's a good thing. It's a blessing, and I'm happy, that I was just here for my birthday, and the little things matter to me. I've had a plethora of experiences in my lifetime, and some were very extraordinary and, over the top.
Okay.
But I don't want every minute doesn't have to be like that. And that comes from some maturity and seasoning. As you progress in this life, you start to appreciate the little things. But come on, like every day to me is a celebration. So
let's ask this. So if you were able, like this unfortunate situation never happened,
Yes.
did you already have like planned something you would have want to have done, or it was just like, okay, it's coming up? Like on your past maybe one or two other born days, were they planned, or it was just kind of like happened type stuff?
I'm the planner of when it's everybody's birthday. I'm like this big event planner, and honestly, when it's my turn, they can't do it like me. So it's kind of like I try to help,
right?
But I just appreciate the effort, but it's never what I would have expected. It's
well,
never.
I will say this, and I don't think it's a bad thing.
Uh-huh.
And I say you have about a year. I would say start planning that
for
next
year,
one
definitely
for yourself,
definitely.
and we're gonna be there in whatever way you want it done.
Yeah, I want to go to Miami. Let's.
I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that at all.
Yes, and because see, this is the part of the season I hate where you don't know if it's gonna be cold or hot. So you got the sweater.
Today is fucking
hot. You're hot, and then you got to roll up your sleeves, and then I'm just like confused, and I need some more. Anybody out there? I need help with these head wraps. Cause I'm very feeling like Aunt Jemima today.
Probably give my sister a call. Sin, she's phenomenal at those. Give her a call. See what's
help.
up to that. All right, so again, happy born day, happy belated born day.
Thank you.
We're gonna say it on here, even though I already said it for you.
Yeah.
But for those individuals, you'll be watching this in the future. Make sure you go in there and let Ian know happy born day. Also,
I got so many likes on my page, on my Facebook page for my birthday, and it's so beautiful, and it makes me feel so special. I just wish I had like $10 for each. That's something.
So let me ask this: when people hit you up and said
Yes.
happy born day, happy birthday, or whatever it is, did you just like it or did you say thank you?
I tried to like it and say thank you, but it just
How you
it's
try?
overwhelming.
How you try?
You know why? Because back before, whenever they decided, I think what happened was, and I probably was the catalyst for this change. So many people saying happy birthday on your page goes down your whole page and probably offends other people that are, seeing all these posts back to back. So now they put it in a little folder.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it says 100 and I think the last I checked it was like maybe 180, something like that, right?
Which is sad because you got like 5,000
Thousand.
friends. And you got 200 people that decided to at the time,
So they say these people post on your birthday, and then you can start looking, but then you have to go read more. So that doesn't take up your whole page.
Okay.
But what happens then, you're trying to find, I
But
can't
doesn't it
get
come
to
up on
all
your
of
alerts?
it.
Like if anybody comments on anything on your page or reacts to anything, you repost anything, something always pops up.
Yes, but because it's so many, it groups it. So
Okay.
it'll say this and 20 more people. So now I haven't gotten to everybody yet. I'm going to try.
You're going to try. You're going to get to
I'm going to get
They
to
took
them.
their
So I'm
time.
supposed to say thank you. I'm not supposed to just like it, right?
Yeah, I hate when people do that.
I was asking, I'm glad you said that,
No,
because I
'cause,
was
like, you gotta
asking
remember-
myself, do people really care? Like when you say happy birthday to somebody, you move on.
Yeah.
You don't really look for their thank
Nah.
you or their
Well, I
like.
mean, here's the thing. I think it would be common courtesy.
It
but
is common
it's like
courtesy.
me. I say happy born day to someone not because I want gratification, But it's your birthday. All right, happy born day. We are
Right.
friends on social media.
Yes.
Doesn't mean we're out hanging.
Right.
But as far as social media, I would say there's certain people I don't give a fuck if it's their birthday or not, even though
Yeah,
we're
you
friends.
just be like, whatever.
Yeah, because it's just like, if you don't get your desperate ass the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it is what it is. But, I mean, I don't, you know, even for most people, again, like I said, that, like, aren't people I comment on a lot, maybe like one of their photos every once in a while or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I've trained myself to be more on social media now. Because we started doing a lot of different things in the last couple of months.
Yes.
So, you know, I look at stuff like that. But me personally, anyone that takes the time out, I always personally go
I
in there.
always used to try to
And
make
do
sure
it.
that I respond to everybody. It's just, you know, and social media is just
Yeah,
a
you on that
beast
time
right now for
restriction.
me.
All right. So, I also want to
Really.
give a shout out to Goddess. She's back.
She's coming back tomorrow?
She was back last week.
Okay.
But she has another show. What's the name? But the reason why, move the mic to the side a little, E. The mic. A little more. There you go. Yeah.
Over here?
Right there. So, it looks like E was watching that show because, you know, Goddess always has the girls out. So,
You trying to show my girl?
for some reason, E ain't never come in here showing the girls. Goddess come back, E showing the girls.
Goddess,
35th birthday
she's the
came through.
inspiration, you
She
know?
don't know how to act. All right, let's get this party started.
Okay,
Come on, E,
let's
take
go.
us.
All right, so we have all coronavirus out. We're all coronavirus out. But every day I tune in at some point to hear
Something else.
the governor of New Jersey or New York give some information. Because when I wake up in the morning, there's a notification. It doesn't open to an article, but it'll say how many new cases have been in New Jersey. And up until 2 days ago, it was always over 1,000. So I think on Wednesday, it was 643 new cases, which I posted on my page. So I'm not out here just trying to socialize on social media. I'm trying to inform the community.
Shots
And
fired.
I'm trying to inform people.
Right.
So we know that this is real. I'm not debating that. But we need to try to inform ourselves on what we need to be doing. So vitamin D has been proven in the statistics of those who have perished, unfortunately, their vitamin D deficiency, among other things, if they have health issues, was low. And that's because in the sunny states or countries that are close to the equator, those are sunny states, they're hotter. And like Italy is one of them. And there was a major death rate.
I thought they was going to have to just cut that state
The
off
boot-
from the rest
put
of the
the
country.
boot in the ocean
put
and
it
let
in
it-
the ocean, like really get out of here.
So there are some foods that are rich in vitamin D because vitamin D helps with the immune system.
help us
I've been
out.
doing my elderberry,
Man, as long as it's
garlic
something you
and
ain't gotta
lemon.
cook, I'm there.
I have got to cook you a meal because you caught me on a bad day.
Try it.
All right, so we have egg yolk, cheese, mushrooms, soy milk, yogurt,
Soy milk.
oysters, liver, kale, tofu, sardines, spinach, cod liver oil, orange juice, oatmeal are a few of the foods that are rich in vitamin D. I think, if anything, what we want to do after this is over, because we don't even know when it's going to be over and how over is over
Well, we
until
have
we
so
get
many-
out there.
There's so many speculations.
Right.
And what people are really saying is more lines of we're not going to truly get hit with wave 2 until the winter hits.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying November, December is when shit's really going to hit the fucking fan.
Right, and the kids will be back in school.
Well, I mean, I will especially commend the around where we're at, where your kids go to school and stuff. I mean, even before we caught one case, we good. Shut down.
Right.
Come get these tablets.
Right.
Come
that's
get your
right.
books. We're not playing that. So I will give a shout out to the Board of Ed for getting
I
it
was happy
before
about that.
even it got into the school system.
Right.
So I hope they would take that same kind of emphasis into the next year.
Well, what I think they'll have to do, because when they were talking about sending them back in May or June, which was totally asinine.
Right.
Why? Um, we've done this since March. But I wasn't going to send them back. But they're going to have to accommodate those families who decide, even still in September, not to return their children with some type of homeschooling program, because I'm sure there's going to be a number of people. A lot of parents, I mean, some parents do homeschooling anyway, and you have to, meet certain guidelines and follow certain criteria. And, of course, you can't just do anything. You have to follow
Well, yeah, they still have. I think
the protocol.
I think it's once a month, something like that. That the kids have to take. Well, probably
Right.
definitely not once a month. But
Right.
there's a curriculum and test that they constantly have to take.
Yes.
In
So
order
I
to
think they
prove-
need to prepare for the case of some parents not being willing to send their children back in
Comfortable with
September,
that
and I'm
shit.
still not sure if I'm
Right.
even going to do that.
Well, that's the whole thing there. I don't see a September start. I spoke to my son already, and he's already informed me that June 7th is his school's last day.
Okay.
Cause like I'm on them. Cause like I need to know when we have to. I need all your books.
Right.
I need that. I don't want to hear any excuses from anybody. Oh, he didn't turn in this. He didn't turn in that. I don't,
It's rough. I'm
yeah.
going to say it's really rough. I have a kindergartner, a second grader, and a sixth grader, and trying to juggle not only, the main teacher. I mean, Sanirene in sixth grade, she's pretty much holding it down herself. But you have now these teachers who want to be paid, so they have to incorporate some time, because it's just started out with the classroom teacher, but now you got the art teacher and the gym teacher and the Spanish teacher
Right.
sending stuff, and I'm like, listen, I'm on Zoom 2 hours in the morning, and then there's work to do after that, and now I have to worry about the art, the gym, the music class, and then and Isaiah's 6, so when he gets off his Zoom at 11, and then he has to go back on another Zoom at 11:30, and then another Zoom at,
Shit.
and that's too much.
Yeah, because Darrell has two. He has one at 10:30, and I think the other one's at 1:30, something like that. But I mean, the more classes are getting kind of long. He was happy in the beginning because they were kind of short.
Right.
Then the shit's really started adding up.
They're not playing, because the teachers have to have something.
A certain amount of time.
Yeah,
for curriculum.
and they can't they can't pass everybody, and they can't fail everybody, so they have to do something.
That's what I really wanted to know, what the school system was going to do for those individuals who were or may not had the grades at the time, maybe borderline-ish. If you were flunking already, I don't give a fuck. But if you were like on the cusp, because sometimes it takes a child, especially if you're going from one grade to another grade, and there's certain grades
that are harder grades.
7th or 6th and 8th, something like that. Those are the ones that kind of really like step it up.
Right.
So sometimes it takes a child a little longer to catch on, and then this shit hits, and then next thing you know, we're having a lot of issues and problems and shit like that.
Yeah, I think it's not going to be what it would be in the classroom. So if you're not doing everything, they're still going to give you a break.
Could you send someone that's
They're
not
gonna
ready?
give you a break.
So what if there was someone in the 8th grade about to go to high school, and that's a total different ball game,
Right.
especially now in this curriculum?
Even in regular school, the parent has to agree, for one, that the child will get left back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you propose that. I mean, and you have to do it in enough time before the end of the year.
Okay.
No parents have received, that I know of, any documentation to say your child is in danger of failing, because they're trying to keep up.
Yeah.
It's way harder on. I'm so thankful that I'm not dealing with this homeschooling as a teacher, because it's bad enough grading papers. Can you imagine grading papers that are coming in picture form? And you can't. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I feel for them.
Yeah.
So they're just going to. A lot of it is going to be based on completion and not correctedness.
Good one.
They haven't even had a test. The younger two haven't had a test. So you can't come to me 2 weeks before school is over now and say, "Oh, we're thinking about leaving them back." No, you're not.
Yeah, it's a
So
wrap.
I believe that most people are gonna pass through.
All right, man.
Now, the parents that aren't doing anything, that's a different story.
I agree with you on that one.
But take your vitamin C, guys.
D?
D,
Take
and
your
C.
vitamin D.
D and
Hey,
C.
it's proven. Try something. Be careful out there. I was out early today on my way to the studio. I always like to get here a couple hours early. Make sure I wipe everything down. And the highways was packed. Everywhere I went was packed.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand you've been cooped up. What's up, Butterfly? I know you've been cooped up for a while.
Yes.
Oh, you got the thing live? I can
Yes.
get out of here then. All right. So,
And that's right. She
a
said
lot
pass fail based on attendance and participation.
Attendance,
Not
shit.
so much. Yeah, and I have to
Hey, you
report
missed the last
attendance.
5 classes. You ain't have Wi-Fi. We ain't trying to hear that shit.
Well,
But nah, I
they
feel you.
they dropped off the iPads, the laptops. There's no
they
excuse.
made sure everyone had it. That's why I say I give them credit for that. But stay careful out here, people. Today was 85. It was really nice. Tomorrow's also going to be in the 70s. So just be careful out there. Anything before we get out? Last words before we get
Vitamin D and the D is always the answer to
Ain't nothing
everything.
wrong with that at all. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. All right, so we both wanted to talk about this situation.
Yes.
I tried to surprise E with it, and we've been working together so long now, about 4 years. Holy shit.
Yes.
That we were, as soon as I showed her and I was going to surprise her with it, she was on the same page with me. I didn't want to show the gentleman's picture, but I did want to talk about 6ix9ine and everyone now who's coming at him for being a rat, talking a lot of crazy stuff about him. I will say this: I think the man's a fucking genius. The man crashed. He crashed Instagram with 2 million views, 2 million live views. It was so crazy that he had his enemies in there. You were going through who was actually watching, and it was majority of people just I guess wanted to see what he was going to do, how he was going to, what he was going to say. So that really broke Instagram. Then he drops his music video, and as of right now, in 1 week, it has 155 million views.
Wow.
So I give him credit.
And Snoop Dogg is upset.
We talk about that. So I give him credit, and I don't think people give his genius enough.
Right.
As far as marketing and stuff like that, he definitely knows how to push people buttons, how to stay in.
They say when they stop talking about you, that's when you worry.
That's when you're doing. Yeah, that's when you're not doing something right. So as of right now, 6ix9ine is worth about $4 million. It's gonna go up for the years.
Definitely.
But I wanted to talk about the snitch shit. You have a lot of people commenting. They feeling that they don't agree with what he did. They feel this way. They feel that way. And the issue I have with certain situations like that, a lot of people that are talking that code shit don't know what the code actually is. You ain't old enough to know what the code really means.
And they haven't been in that situation.
Oh, yes they have. And they've been ratting themselves. It's just not on the same level. I say this. If you aren't a certified street guy, and I'm not talking about because you sold 5 dime bags. All right, I'm talking about a real street dude. Then you can't comment on street businesses. Just because you live in the hood, don't mean you hood. Just because there's some real niggas on your block that speak to you, that may share a blunt with you or drink with you from time to time, don't mean you certified in. I don't care what flag you raise, what color you raise, that don't mean you a certified motherfucker. Those people who are really about that life can comment on the snitching, not snitching. Code of the streets. From that standpoint. But then you also add the fact of how can you be loyal to someone that wasn't loyal to you, or should you be? Now, this is a guy who generated a lot of money for that organization. And then, I guess, once he started to wake up and see a lot of his money wasn't getting to him. He started to wise up and things started to change. And you can't tell a millionaire, he's going back to 100 air. Shit gonna happen. He gets kidnapped, a whole bunch of other shit. But at the end of the day, I tell people this. Until you're in that situation yourself, to that degree to where you're about to do 25 fucking years in federal prison, and you can say, I've actually done it, there are very few people I can say that actually was in front of the judge, dealing with the prosecutor, dealing with the his attorneys, and they're telling them they're about to give you some football numbers. Now, one dude I can say that had issues was Bobby Smurda. He took a plea deal, so him and instead of him giving his boy, I think it was like 18, whatever years, he took 7 if his boy could get 7, and he took it.
Hasn't been 7 years yet?
August. They say he should be out of jail, up for parole about August, September. He'll be out. But the main thing is, that's a man who was really about that life. Really did all those lyrics he talked about. He was really about that life.
He snitched on himself, though. He snitched on himself.
But he did it for the better of the organization and his peoples. Now, for the guys who didn't take a plea deal, those are the ones that got 193 years. How the fuck could you fix your mouth and give a motherfucker 193 years? That shit boggles me. But at the end of the day, that man took more years. He's supposed to do 2. He took more just to make sure his boy got 7. I'll take 7. You give my boy 7. That man could comment. Now, if that man come out and say something, I ain't got no comments, nothing to refute what he had to say. But for you individuals who's never been in that situation, you ain't really about that life. I ain't talking about you selling a dime bag here, dime bag there. I'm talking about real street life. You know what I mean? I'm talking about making niggas disappear, robbing drug dealers, robbing real ass motherfuckers. You can't really hit me with no kind of comments. That's just me. Your words, E.
Okay, so snitching to me is all relative, right? So somebody kills your mother, you're snitching, right? Somebody molests your daughter, you're snitching. You're a part of the crime. You aware of the crime. You had a hand in the crime and benefited from the crime. You don't go tell on your colleague to get out. You do what Bobby Smurda did. Yeah, we both was guilty. We're both going to, try to make this work to where nobody else is going under. We're all going to be okay. As if you can, right?
Right.
I don't understand. And I wasn't a fan of Tekashi before. I thought, he's young, he's boisterous, arrogant. You knew the fall was coming. You knew something, he was going to hit the brick wall. But how are you supposed to be loyal to people who were not loyal to you? That I don't understand. I don't understand how you're going to do. I was watching For My Man, which is one of my favorite shows, last night, and a girl from Jamaica moved to the States. She started fell in love with a dance hall artist from Jamaica. They had 2 kids. They were living a lavish life. She went to pick up some drugs. The cops, followed her. She got arrested. He was in Jamaica. He never did anything to help her. He had other women over there. Her kids were going to be raised without her, and she still didn't tell on him. Now, see, I can't say that would be me. I'm sorry. If I know that you got my back, yeah. But if you don't have my back,
right.
What do I have to? I don't have to. My children's lives are at stake. And I may have been a part of it because for the love of my man, I was involved in that. I didn't orchestrate it. I wasn't the one. Again, if I was the one who had the connection in Jamaica and I put my man on, then he shouldn't go down for me. And she shouldn't have gone down for him. But she ended up getting 21 years. And, it's just a matter of
That's
really
the funny shit.
Not.
She got 21 years, and he got another chick on his arms right now.
Well, they both got a lot of time. They finally got, this is the thing.
Eventually, yeah.
He came back to the States, which is the dumbest shit ever. You knew they wanted you. You thought you could sneak back into the States. And you know how they got him? Call the car dealership where he got his car from, offer him a deal to get an upgrade on his car, and here he comes right in the car dealership. So, sometimes
That's what you call self-snitch.
everybody has their day. And the people that were doing whatever they were doing to Tekashi, I don't feel that he owed them that loyalty. Now, do I mess with the police? No. Do I believe in snitching? No. But I don't believe in being loyal to people that are not loyal to you. I don't. And I think, unfortunately, what happens when you're cooperating with them, you become their property. So.
No, that is true. But also the fact that they've actually showed him and played video for them plotting to actually kill his ass. Like, these motherfuckers, this day
So
and
why
age
is everyone
are still
mad
talking
at that? Why are they mad?
Because he's winning. You have all these people that have been out, and oh, man, I'm so I'm lyrical, I'm this and that.
Right.
He ain't lyrical, but he knows how to market himself.
Right.
It's a lot that goes into it. He knows how to market himself.
He's definitely smart in that aspect.
He makes you put his name in
whether
into,
you love him or hate him,
right.
He still is good for business.
Listen, the most views ever on a live, I think it was Tory Lanez, and that was about 300 to 400,000 views at one time. This man shattered that. 2
Well,
million.
Versus has been up there.
Well, Versus is not on Instagram.
Yeah,
it's
on Instagram. Yeah.
It's up there, but it ain't like one single thing there. That's like a collabo thing. But having that, totally different.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
again, I will say this: if that's not you, then don't do it. But if you haven't been put in that situation, there's nothing you can say to me. There's nothing you can say to me. You can feel about it, not feel about it. But until you've ever been in that situation, you stood tall and took those 25 years, 17, 18, 19 years with a smile on your face, then you could come back and say something. Because I tell people all the time, I believe the no snitching started with the police and white people.
What do you mean?
What's the best thing I could come up with to make sure the black community never grows? Start the whole not snitching. So you're not going to say anything about that drug dealer. You're not going to say anything about this or that. And your community will never grow. Your community will never be successful.
Well, what bothers me is, like, in the city of Patterson, where I taught for many years, right? I saw it so many times where somebody gets killed on the block, and then the sheet goes up, and then everybody's signing their name, and then you have the bottles on the floor, to pay homage to this person who lost their life. But then, at the same time, you're protecting somebody else in the neighborhood that did that or killed somebody else.
And here's the thing. The reason why I say I think white people invented that in the black areas, because white people are telling a heartbeat.
Right.
Now, I'm not going out there telling nobody in those areas, but I'm just saying the shit that goes on in your neighborhood don't go on in their neighborhood.
Right. Yeah, it's a destructive cycle.
It's what we're being taught, though.
Because we're basically...
You're allowing your community to continue to...
Yes.
All right, here's the thing. I've always said this. When you piss in your own elevator, there's a fucking problem.
That's the problem.
It's a fucking problem.
That is the problem.
But again, if you're about that life, I understand, and I can take your opinion with good heart. But if you ain't about that life, I'm going to hear you say shit. I'm going to fuck who you are. That's just me.
Yeah, you have to be in it to understand. You have to be in the situation to say what you're going to do.
Know somebody in that life. You got to be truly about that life.
Right.
All right, let's keep it moving. E.
Okay, so these stories, as much as painful as they are, we have to get to a point where we expect it so that we can be proactive instead of reactive. But I do like the fact that some armed black men went into the community, onto the street, in front of the house of the McDingleberries, or whatever the hell their name is, okay? And with guns and licensed firearms.
And that's what people have to understand. There are states that allow you to open carry.
Right.
And for those of you who don't know the law, that means you can carry a fucking gun. All right, and walk the streets safely as long as you don't, as long as you have your certification. You're certified. You took whatever class you need to have, and you have your gun license. In the state of Georgia, it's an open carry state, which means as long as you have all your credentials, you can walk the streets with a fucking gun. And these motherfuckers had some semi-automatic weapons.
Yes. And of course, everybody was uncomfortable with that. It was a problem.
Because they did it in a white
It
neighborhood.
was a problem. And I like how they said was the last quote in the article? It's not fun when the rabbit gets the gun.
Yep.
That's it right there. So,
Well, that's the thing about cowards.
yeah, that's what it is. They can do it, but when somebody else does the same thing, it's a problem. It's a problem. And I think, unfortunately, the jogging and the marching and the speaking out is a part of, but it should not go without us fighting back, because
Sooner or later,
it's
I don't care who you back into the corner. Sooner or later, you're gonna get tired of being bullied. You're gonna get tired of making fun of.
yes.
And this country's pushing people to start reacting in a violent way. A truly violent way.
And even if he was in that house for whatever reason, he didn't touch anything, it does not mean his life should have been taken. He didn't kill anybody. And even if he did, that's not their place to decide to take his life.
Well, that's the main thing. Like, these gentlemen were trying to say that they were trying to commit a citizen's arrest.
Right.
But they weren't. I mean, there are rules and regulations to a citizen's arrest. But even when the elder, McMichael, was in the DA office, he didn't even have the power to do any kind of arrest, because he didn't have the proper amount of hours that he was supposed to have associated with his level of employment. There also is a cry out to have the third gentleman who was filming arrested, saying that he was an accessory to the fact. He was one of the ones also filmed. Well, he's the one that filmed, so he was a part of it. He was also following Mr. Arbery. So that hasn't happened yet, so we'll see what's going on. I want people to understand this. This case will not get solved this year.
No.
I don't care what you feel, how wrong the situation is. With all the I's that have to be dotted and the T's that have to be crossed, you want this to take as long as it has to take for justice to come forth. Because I think it was the first or second, but both of them, but one of them mainly, one of the DAs that passed it on, the first one, I forgot his name, he was the main one, was pushing shit underneath the table. Again, these guys knew each other.
Right.
He was a part of the member of the Blue Shield family, or whatever you want to call it. So they wanted to protect him as best as possible. So a lot of stuff was swept under the rug. Shout out to that third person. I think his name was Bobby something, who was a part of it for filming it. And then shout out for the dumbass lawyer for leaking the video, thinking it was going to did arrogance to certain people.
Right.
It kills
it's just ignorance and arrogance.
It was the arrogance. I don't think it was just straight arrogance. I don't think it was ignorance. I think it was arrogance. The fact that you're showing on that video execution and think that your client is going to get off for it.
I mean, as a lawyer, you should know better than that anyway.
It just goes to show you how powerful they feel that that form of life is in that area. Mm-hmm. That they're just that comfortable with letting people just really, you should reach that. They'll see that he was existing, he was doing all this other stuff, and it was exactly the complete 180 of everything they said. Everything they said. I should have uploaded. Next week I have the 911 call. So you can hear what was said, the accusations and the lies. But again, I'm not 100% sure that justice is going to be served in this.
Yeah.
I think because the DA who's in charge of it now finally did decide to arrest the McMichaels. The third guy hasn't been arrested yet, and that's only because of the outcry and the amount of people that have gotten involved in this now. And you ain't never hear your president say shit yet.
No.
Just want to point that out there. But I will say again, don't think it's going to be a swift process. And I want you to be prepared for it not to turn out the way we want it to turn out, because we've seen it happen before with Rodney King and a lot of other individuals where cops are getting off on a blatant video stuff. I don't want to hear, well, this is 2020, it can't still happening. And we just talked about, I think, a couple of days after the guy, this whole story broke in Indiana. Oh, sorry, it was Reed. Let me see his name because I still have him in here. Sean Reed.
Go ahead.
Same day Sean Reed died,
Mm-hmm.
2 other people in the same state died. One was a pregnant woman, and she got hit by a police car. Go ahead, say what you're going to say.
No, I mean, we need to find a way to, like I said, deal with this problem, accepting that this is what it is. And, not to not be alarmed about it happening, but accepting that this is what we're faced with and trying to find a strategy on how to deal with it before it continues. I mean, I don't know how it's going all over the country, so I don't know
It's
how.
happening in a lot of different states.
Yeah.
A lot of different officers are involved. But again, I want you to stay patient. Let the process take its place, and hopefully we get some form of justice. But I know Mr. Arbery's mother is asking for the death penalty, murder for murder. So she's asking for, oh gosh, it just was in my brain. But you're asking for a murder one. I guess obviously they're going to try to get it down to manslaughter or something different, so it's not the death penalty. But that was a blatant execution.
I don't think they're going to get murdered, though.
I mean, I don't see how you could talk this down to manslaughter. But again, we've been shocked at a lot of other different things that has happened. But again, this story is always growing. But I will say the DA has asked for the federal government to take over because of the things that have happened. And I already know they're going to have to ask for a change of venue.
Right.
So we will continue to keep our eyes on this situation. The more information we get, obviously, it's the more we're going to pass on to you guys. Last words, E?
No, I don't know what to say. I want to say something,
Say
but I
it.
think it's going to be taken the
Well, you
wrong way.
scared? Go
I
ahead.
mean, I'm never scared.
Then
You
say.
know, we're not really seeing, and this is no excuse, but we're not seeing. They don't see us as human beings, and no fault of some of us that we are upstanding citizens, working people with families, but our image is tainted. So we have to try to, ourselves. Not, and it doesn't mean that that's going to work either, but we do have to be concerned about how we present ourselves as well, as a whole.
Right. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. All right, let's keep it going, E, before I tear this nigga ass.
Well, this is Boosie Badass. You want to start or you want me to go first?
No, please, because I'm going to rip this nigga a new one.
All
I'm
right.
like,
So he had a lot to say about Dwayne Wade.
Did he?
Dwayne Wade's son, 12 years old,
13
years old,
12,
deciding to change his name, become a female, wear
Surgery.
girl clothes and everything. And he said he's too young to make that decision. So, but he also went on recently, this week, I would presume, because everybody's up in arms, he went on to divulge information about himself, gifting his son and nephews with
fellatio.
fellatio at 12. 12, they're 12 too, right? Well,
I
they
think
range in
were, I think they were
ages.
a little, I think they were a little older.
They range in ages.
Right.
And he's saying that this is how it's supposed to be. You have to prepare them for manhood and be there for them when they have their first dick suck. To make sure that all goes well and be a part of it too. So he got the favor done for him. And, they all, I don't know, lined up in chairs waiting for her to play. What's that game we used to play when we used to try to get the apple out the
Bobbin?
Yeah. So, she's going down the line, bobbing for apples.
There you go.
And, at first, I'm like, wow. Was he that dumb to even tell? Like, didn't he know not to tell? Didn't he know not to tell that? Like, this is another thing of arrogance. That was a personal decision that you chose to do with your son and your nephews. I'm sure they were agreeing to have it done. I'm sure they didn't say, no, daddy, uncle, we don't want that. So it is similar to the Dwayne Wade situation because they probably chose to be taken care of and he chose to become a girl. So it's similar. But at the end of the day, what is he creating in these boys who he says with their iPhone 11s, they get to watch porn all day? Everything has to be in moderation. So now you're nurturing another man with a sex addiction. What's going to end up happening is that they're going to all end up with sex addictions. They're going to have a bunch of different women. They're going to just run through, and all the effects of that are going to come too. So was it irresponsible or was it his right? Well, they're minors. So legally, it wasn't his right, and he could very well go to jail for that. Even if they say...
You related to what I was going to go against his ass.
Even if they said, yes, uncle, daddy, let's do it. Even if they said that, they are minors. And it is up to the man to be an adult and know that this is not the best thing to do. Okay? But...
Child molestation.
Child molestation.
That's what the fuck this shit is.
But what age, before you go, I just have a question. What age is that okay? Because I don't think that that's not okay. I think that it's the age that it's not okay.
I don't think it's the age. I think it's the individual's mental capacity. There are some that mature a lot faster than others, and some that understand. You have a lot of young kids that are forced to grow up. Oh, okay, well, right. I gotta get a job because I gotta help put some money in this house type situations.
Right.
That man's son ain't they're not begging for money.
No, but they're privy to using people at their disposal, and that's the animal here.
No, I understand that, but it's just more lines of when you have someone again who's in a bad situation, bad off. All right. So Boosie's worth about $2 to $4 million. All right. So his kids aren't pressed for money. Mm-hmm. All right. So compared to someone who, again, had to drop out at 16, 17, 15 mm-hmm. to get a job under the table, whatever it is, to help support the family because they can't afford to do a lot of shit.
But they're still being reared as grown men. Although the situation that you're saying makes a person a man or
right.
makes them grow.
It's just the mentality.
Their exposure is making them more mature.
No. Again, this is something that a person had to take on themselves. A child, okay, well, I have to drop out of school because I have to help moms and dad or whatever situation may put to take care of my sisters, to take care of this and that. I don't have time for school. Compared to someone who doesn't have to worry about money, finances, that isn't.
But what does that have to do with?
No, I'm going to where you don't have that. I need to do this in order to survive. So you don't have any pressure. You're not pressed for money. You're not pressed for food. And then you putting your 12-year-old son in a situation that they might not even be thinking about ass and pussy and titties at that time. So you're forcing a child. It's like forcing your child to fight when they're not about
ready
that life.
to fight. Right.
Unfortunately, you have a lot of people who are hood, are about that life, are street, try to put their kids in a lot of situations to fight when they're your child not built like that. You got some kids, nigga, they come out the womb ready to fight. You got others, they're not about that life. My son is not about my life.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. He's the same Gemini like me, but he ain't about that life. So I don't put him in situations like that. But as his father, it's my job not for him to be in situations like that. He's supposed to be raised better than I was raised. That's my job as a father.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this was child molestation. You don't put a 12-year-old who's still watching cartoons and all kinds of games in this situation. He still
No, it's
don't
very
know,
irresponsible.
He don't know why his pants is feeling a little funny right now because he saw something on TV.
He knows. They know. They know at that age. They
No,
know. They know at 12.
Depends. But again,
That's what I'm saying. The exposure. You don't know how many women are walking around
I
their
think
house
because the
butt
father
naked.
like that, he not calling his 12-year-old son to let random bitches come in and watch him pound these bitches out. That goes, you know what I'm saying? So, yes, the fact that the father's doing it,
Right.
he might see young ladies walking around in bikinis or whatever, but we're talking about seeing full nipples, vaginas. We're talking about full-blown
They're watching
touching
porn
and
on their
stuff like
phones.
this.
They're watching porn.
Some may, some not. I know some kids are still scared of it.
No. They're watching porn. He's saying
but that
they're
don't mean the
watching
kids
porn.
are. You can say whatever you want.
He said they can watch porn all day long. And what little boy do you know at 12 who doesn't want to watch porn? The thing is, kids are going to sneak and do things that should be restricted because then there's a boundary.
Right.
You're even if as a father, and a lot of fathers are like this, we're not going to deny that a lot of fathers is like, yeah, go ahead, Boosie. I'm going to get my son done when he's 14 or 15. A lot of fathers are like that. But the problem is you are opening them up for a total disrespect of women. Not, you're allowing them to see women in a certain light that mentally they're not ready for.
Okay.
I don't agree with what he did, but a lot of men do that. A lot of men do that.
They do. They want their kids to, I want you to see this and that. But, I've always said it's just, when he's ready, he's ready.
Right.
I mean, when you try to force things, you kind of push a child to do something.
It's kind of like the parent that says, I want you to smoke weed in the house so you don't go out there and get something bad, right? So now, although you think you're protecting your child, what you're opening your child up is to a dependency on drugs. Even though you think weed is a harmless drug, but it's a gateway drug. So now you opening your child up to an addiction that they're not ready for. They're not ready mentally and emotionally for that.
Right.
Physically, they're ready, but mentally and emotionally, they're not ready for that. I think that's crazy.
I think you're failing, homie. And don't be shocked if DIFUS or whatever's in your area comes knocking on your fucking door. You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh, you have to take this one.
Yeah. So, Alexis Sky, I'm not her best friend or anything. She's not my friend in my head. But, I feel her pain sometimes because...
You got to break it down. Don't tell me you feel her pain.
Well, show me the, so I can quote her. So she says, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, but women are supposed to turn felons, cheaters, community dick into kings. Oh, okay. The irony. So what she was, she basically has gone through a few men publicly that we know of. Okay. And now they're trying to say that she's a hoe. And she is trying to defend herself by saying, all these men are out here slinging and sharing, spreading the love all over the place, right? But you have something to say about me, who is free to be with who I want, when I want, how I want. I'm a single young female. As long as I'm taking care of my daughter, I can do what I want to do.
Kids, don't she?
No, she has one by Fetty.
Okay.
So First of all,
She's worth $1 to $5 million. I'll give her that. Go ahead.
I beg to differ that you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You can turn a hoe into a housewife. Because if a woman has gone around into different relationships because she rightfully wanted to be in a relationship and those relationships did not work out, and she is continuing to not give up on love or become hardened and bitter against men, and she still wants to give love a chance, she could be labeled as a hoe, but not necessarily be one. So the image may look like she's a loose woman, but she's just a woman that wants to find that right dude that's going to turn her into a housewife. Now, I think it's harder to turn community dick, felons, cheaters, and into kings. I think it's harder because you have all of the women that want to be housewives being led to believe that they are going to become one by messing with the community dick master because he knows how to run game. So he's not out there going ringing doorbells every day, rotating dinners. I'm eating dinner at your house tonight, and Tuesday night is Tracy, and Wednesday night is Wendy. Okay, because Tracy and Wendy think that they're just doing their part to show him that they're ready to be a housewife. And then when they find out that he's going down around the corner across town, what's a woman to do? So that's how I feel her pain. I think she has gotten out here. She has her own career. She's a pretty girl. Her physical beauty, I believe, has jaded her and caused her to think that she can do whatever she wants. I'm sorry, Alexis, but women and men can't do the same things. It doesn't matter what men do. We are going to be labeled hoes if we continue to jump on dick and dick and dick.
I'm looking at before and after surgery photos of Alexis Sky. I'm listening to E, but I'm looking at before and after photos of surgery. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, the reason why I wanted to do this story is because although we accept unwillingly that there are double standards, and it's unfortunate, but if we want to be respected, we got to move a little different. So, okay, say you are seeing a couple of different guys, and I've seen a lot on Facebook. A lot of women urging other women like myself who are just one women, men.
No, you said it right. Go ahead. You told
one
yourself, but
men, women.
One man,
One man, women. We are, again, trying to be loyal and faithful in a situation that doesn't always amount to what we think it's amounting to. So they say, listen, if nobody's making those serious moves and nobody's talking serious about marriage, nobody's telling you that you're in a committed they tell you you're in a committed relationship. But if he's not, on the conversation like you are, when you say, what are we doing here? Are we going to, are we moving forward? You're supposed to be able to date whoever you want to date. But us good girls over here, we get stuck thinking that's, we can't do that because we have to be loyal to someone who's not loyal to us. So I'm not totally against what she's saying. Now you want to break me down and rip me to shreds. Go ahead.
No, I want to say this. There you go. I think she was attractive before she started carving herself up. Now, no, she did not have the physical attributes that she had before, but shout out to her fucking plastic surgery. Holy shit. I say this. I put everybody in the whole category.
Everybody?
I put everybody in the whole category. And the reason why I say this, I truly believe we were meant to be with one person. I remember back in the days when our parents were alive, you couldn't go to bed with a woman unless you got married. There were no such thing as divorces. You
Right.
truly had to court this woman, and if you had issues and problems in your marriage, you talked it out. You
That's a
worked on it.
long time ago.
Right. But now there is no monogamy went out the window. It's all about me, my satisfaction right now, this moment. There is no more. I'm going to work on it. We're going to go to bat for our relationship. It's all about us. Relationships these days is still me. My respect, my this, my that, my that. And once you come in a relationship, I say it over and over again, when you're in a relationship, me turns into we.
Yes.
So I just think this is a young lady who is getting way more attention than she used to because of her physical attributes, and she likes it. Maybe she didn't get the attention before. She is probably well educated, can talk very well, delegate into many different circles that a lot of other these young ladies who can't. But she had the face, but she never had the body. And now she got the body. What you have to understand is you have a lot of guys that want to be a part of that. Like Selena Powell. That little bitch did a fucking tour of every rapper in the world. And it didn't matter who dick she just got off of,
Right.
or who ass she just sucked. Everybody just wanted to smash.
Right.
They wanted their 5 minutes too. And they didn't care if she was exposing people. They still wanted to fuck her because everybody's, oh man, she'll do this. She'll give you a rusty trombone. She'll stroke your shit and eat your ass from the back. You know what I mean? So, and everybody wanted a piece.
Right.
If this is the type of attention you want, it's all on you. It's your life. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you're not causing anybody harm, I don't have any problem with it. But what I do not want you to say is the moment you utter out your mouth, you can't find a good man, I'm going to slap the shit out of you.
But wait, you said everybody's a hoe.
We
What
are.
is it? Okay.
But there's a difference of, all right, let's say this. Waka Flocka's girl.
Mm-hmm.
If you think that bitch ain't cheat on Waka Flocka, you're a dumbass motherfucker. That bitch is gorgeous. And I'm not sure if it's fully all real. I think it's all real because she's been thick for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want people to say is there are a lot of people that do their dirt, but they do it behind closed doors.
Right.
And I've never been a guy that want to ask a girl, send me a nude. That's just me. Because that photo's probably been in your phone for 5 years, and you sent 5,000 niggas that same photo. Other than the people you've actually shared your bed with, everyone else shouldn't know what every freckle on your behind looks like. That's just me. Mm-hmm. You can't want to be taken serious when you're not doing serious things.
I agree.
So, again, she's young. But I don't want to hear it. I mean, look at, what was the short-haired girl that used to deal with Kanye West?
Amber Rose.
Amber Rose. You had a guy that, after everything she went through, I think it was Savage 21 Savage, whatever it is.
Yes.
All that shit she did, all the niggas' dicks she sucked, all this shit, still wanted to actually be with this girl. Mm-hmm. And because she is so fucking broken, she still cheated on him.
Right.
Who treated her like the fucking queen that she wanted to be treated like. She still cheated on him. All right, so she wasn't ready. She'll never be ready. Because mentally, she'll never think a person will take her serious in the way that she wants to be taken seriously. Mm-hmm. So, knock yourself out, boo-boo. Yeah.
I think, okay, you brought up a good point about her body, right? So you want this body so that you could get this attention. You get the attention. Now you don't know what to do with the attention because everybody's making you think that it's, you're just everything, right?
Well, I mean, just like me. I went from 395 pounds to 139 in my junior high days. Mm-hmm. And I'm not an ugly dude, but I used to work out. So you put all that together, and I had a lot of people that wanted my attention. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to handle it.
Right.
So anybody that wanted my attention, I gave it to them. It didn't matter who I hurt. Right. But obviously, I hurt the wrong person, someone that actually truly cared about. And it made me stop and look back at a lot of things that I did. And I was like, you was a fucking dumbass. Mm-hmm. But again, you have a lot of people that aren't ready for the attention.
Right. And that's from being young. So, by the time she gets maybe 10 years from now, who knows? Unless but how, okay, in her defense or whatever,
She's
how would
25.
somebody like her find somebody to take her seriously?
Here's
Like,
the thing.
how can she really attract a man that's going to not just want her for her body?
All right, she's 25. She's still young. You said 10 years when she's 25. 35. I would say you would have to start acting like you truly want to be. Now, as much as I think dude is a troll. Drake, his baby mother, she was a porn star. Now she only did solo porn. You'll never see nobody with a dick in her mouth. All right, she graduated school. She was very educated. I think she needed a nose job, just me. But her body is fucking phenomenal. But you went on her IG and this was everywhere. Ass oiled up, whatever. About to have a baby by Drake. You go on her social media now, everything's buttoned up. You know what I mean? You wouldn't see her ass unless it's in the jeans. But again, that's all hers. But again, she had to start changing things about her life, her lifestyle, in order for someone to take her serious. Now, her and Drake's not together.
Right.
But you think he not financially taking care of her?
Right.
You're
a
fucking fool.
When you see her, she's flaunting, she's twirling, she's doing all the stuff that's gonna attract the attention that the wrong attention. So it's pretty much like you're going about it the wrong way if you really want somebody to. Because who wants their girl all over the place like that?
Well, my thing is this. I want people to understand this. You're not going to be the only one attracted to the person you're with. You can throw that shit out the window. It's not going to happen. Your person you're with is going to find other people attractive, but it takes a true person who says, yes, even though I think this person's attractive, and if I was single, I might give this person a chance.
Right.
I'm not single right now, so there's no way in the world that this is going to happen.
Right.
So you just have to start doing more aligned again of the I no longer part of that life type stuff. Now, again, she turned her life around. I'm looking at it right now, like, you can't even see nothing. Like, obviously, she got to figure you can't hide. No matter what piece of clothing she has on.
Right.
But compared to before, where ass oiled and booty clapping, that shit is gone. So this young lady would have to start reacting in ways like that. She would have to grow up.
Right.
You can't expect me to take you serious if you're not taking yourself serious. And I do want to say this. There's 1,000 fucking models out here. But if you're not getting paid well to do what you do, you're not a fucking model.
Right.
All right? Fans only got these chicks going fucking buck wild. You know what I mean? Where you have, what's the guy who just got married, just had a baby? Erica Mena and Safari. They both got fans only page. But I feel you, love it.
They both got what?
They both got fans only page.
Oh, fans only page. Okay.
So, I don't know what they're on there doing, if they're getting naked.
Right.
I heard he's stroking his shit, and from what the women say, he should be happy with what he got. But, I heard she might be moving clothes. I'm not paying for it. I'm good.
Right.
But there's only one chick I'll pay to see naked, and that's Maya. But
Maya?
Yeah, I had a thing for her for years, man. I'll pay right now, Maya, even though she married with kids. No disrespect to you and your family. But again, eventually, yes, this is going to wear off.
Yeah.
She's going to grow up. But again, when you're ready. So again, I think we're all hoes. The moment you sleep with more than one person, I think you're a hoe. And that's just my book. I'm not saying that you view things the same way. That's just me.
But how can you be a hoe and be meant to be with one person? You said we're meant to be with one person. I think we're all meant to be with
one person. And the fact that we're not, we're all hoes. we all do hoish shit. Every single person in this world
Oh my
is
God.
doing hoish shit.
I'm not doing no shit. I'm not.
E, we the same age.
I'm not.
You ain't. I said you're not now. All right. Give me no bullshit. I love you to fucking death, but I ain't gonna sit here and let you hit me in the head with this shit. You know.
Well, I said I'm not.
No,
I didn't
said
say
you're
nothing.
Not right now. And like me.
Not means right now.
Yeah, exactly. So, we've all experienced life experience.
Of course we have.
You know what I mean? And hey, when you're single, knock your fucking self out. But again, what type of man do you truly want to be with? Because I tell people this all the time. If that nigga dick is hitting the floor, you're going to enjoy, you might hate, because a big dick don't mean a good stroke. But at the end of the day, that few minutes or moments or an hour, if he's taking pills, that you experience physically, after both of y'all nut, you still got 23 hours in a day to deal with each other.
Yes.
It's you gotta take all that into consideration. We have to sit down and be able
Absolutely.
to converse. We have to go out and hang. We have to have fun. You know, we have to have good sex. We have to do everything. You have to have that combination. But if once you get past that physical action, the ass is only but so fat, fellas. The moment you nut, okay, what are you gonna talk about? You don't even want to be around the person anymore. So, I wish you the best, young lady. Have your fun now, but remember, your past can affect your future.
Definitely.
And you can't expect someone to take you seriously if you don't take yourself seriously.
Okay.
All right. I know we're over, but I have to. We have
got one
to
more.
talk about this because this young lady case has not, under any circumstances, been getting any kind of real push like Mr. Arbery. You want to start on this, E?
Yes.
Okay.
Breonna Taylor was in an apartment where a warrant was being served, and it wasn't even for anybody in her apartment.
Oh, you started wrong, E.
Oh,
Start the right way.
all right.
No record.
No record.
Breonna Taylor.
Okay. EMT.
EMT.
Yes.
Worker.
Essential worker. Yes.
Miss Breonna Taylor. You know, all these essential workers. Let's cheer for them.
Yes.
That's this young lady. Well, sorry. It was this young lady. No records. All right, Katie.
So the police come to serve a warrant. Her boyfriend, who was a registered gun owner, believed that there were intruders coming into the home. He shot through the door, shot a cop in the knee, and then they returned fire, firing into the door more than 20 rounds, shooting her and killing her. And we haven't heard anything about it.
So this has been, you're going to get your shot now, boo-boo. And we're going to keep talking about you. Hearts and thoughts and everything goes out to the family. This is, again, a young lady who was in the apartment with a boyfriend who had a licensed firearm, because it's a licensed firearm state, where a search warrant was being done at the wrong location.
Right.
To a suspect who was already in custody. He was already locked up, people. When do we not communicate or check up? All right, before you double check. And here's the power that these cops have to where they can get a search warrant when they shouldn't get one. Mm-hmm. You should be able, like it was back in the days, to call a judge, have the proper paperwork, the proper stuff. Everything went through the proper channels, the proper systems, to where these cops would have known that that person was already in custody.
Right.
That they were trying to serve the warrant for. Now, no drugs were found in the apartment. The only thing that was found in the apartment was the firearm that was shot, one shot through the door that hit the cop in the leg, where the cops returned fire, hitting this young lady 8 times, killing her. And they arrested
Yes,
arrested the boyfriend and charged him with attempted murder on a police officer.
Yes.
I'm going to let that sit for a couple seconds.
Yes.
You came to the wrong house. Did not. Police, open the door. We have a search warrant. So the police said they had a no-knock search warrant, which means you just open the door, you bang it open. You do not have to say it is police. Now, the only kind of situations where police gets No knock. Is we're talking about you're dealing with some serious motherfucking people who kill cops and don't care. We're talking about some drugs, people. Not major. We're not talking about no Al Capone. You know what I mean? Esco, or any kind of situation like that. But you served the wrong people, wrong location, and the suspect was already in custody, and then you arrest a man for doing what he has the right to do,
to protect
and that
himself.
is to protect him and his family, to where you hear commotion at the door.
Right.
He yells, "Who is it?" No one says anything. Then he lets the shot off, and he gets arrested for attempted murder. So, as of now, there are a lot of people wanting a lot of different things to happen with this case. As of now, there is nothing solid, but I will guarantee you that more things are going to be done for this young lady, because the first thing they want to say, just like Mr. Arbery, oh, he brought a gun to school.
Right.
He shoplift, like he did it that day that he got hit with a shotgun 2 times at close range. This young lady, her and her boyfriend, nothing on the records. Legal firearm. Not bringing a legal firearm to school. Did everything by the book. And the system failed them. So there are things working in this young lady's case now. The police and everybody, again, they're going to have to redo everything. And it's sad that it takes this long for these situations to take effect, because the DA and everybody already said it was a good shoot. It was a good shoot. This is what the DA has said. He said it, but back then, I don't think he's going to say it no more.
Right.
He's not going to say it no more. But when do you really take a look at the actual evidence before you start backing a cop just because he's a fucking cop? Where you have cops all around the United States and outside the states. Let's talk about Baltimore, where you had a lieutenant sergeant stealing, planting drugs, selling guns, selling drugs back to drug dealers. You have all these cops in all these different states planting evidence, doing a lot of things, search and frisk when they're not supposed to, and you're still backing the system when the system is broke. So just like Mr. Arbery's case, you people, I don't want to say it that way, I apologize. The people that do not respect the law, you guys aren't going to be satisfied until you guys start getting shot back. Then it's going to be a real problem. Because every once in a while, even if you back a rabbit in the corner, that rabbit's going to try to protect their lives. So just like those guys walked into that area with those semi-autos, and I dared to try to stop me.
That's right.
The rabbit got a gun now. Ain't nobody got shit to say no more. Last words, E, on this, if we get out of here.
Yeah, I just think that we need to start with our children and opening our possibilities up to many more careers in law enforcement, government, politics, education. I mean, we need to really broaden our scope and nurture our children to make a difference, because we can make a difference, but it just has to be a movement that is like a movement that covers all these bases.
I feel you. I just don't think nothing's going to happen until they actually start charging these police officers. Like I always say, back in the days, when a woman, your girl didn't like you or she had a problem with you, she called the cops and this nigga put his hands on me, he got arrested.
Right.
When they changed that law, they started taking the woman with them, motherfuckers stopped getting them calls. So when these officers start getting serious jail time, not we're going to suspend them for a couple of days.
Suspended with pay.
Administrative leave.
Right.
We're going to take your badge and the gun, but you still have to show up to work, sit behind that desk, but you're still going to get paid. We're talking about some serious jail time. 20 years, 25 years. How about we talk about the fucking death penalty? Murder is motherfucking murder.
That's right.
Hands down. When you start handing those out like candy, like you be handing out all this shit you handle to other people who are less fortunate, that's when people are going to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Because that last motherfucker that planted evidence got 10 years.
There has to be some type of, even, while they're being evaluated on the job before something happens, they have to continue to have training, sensitivity training. I mean, it's just like they're out there, and as long as they don't get caught doing what they're doing it.
Just like those, the McMichaels, they waited 2.5 months to actually arrest them because it was all about a good shoot. Good citizen's arrest.
Right.
Or attempt to with the dead body. But again, two of these police officers are properly held accountable. Like, I remember when I was a VA, and a friend of mine's at that time, wife was threatened, and the guy had a nerve to come to the complex and do it. He pulled out that P9. And at that time, Virginia's a Commonwealth state, and you get caught with it done, you're doing 5 years. I already said I'm going. I was like, this nigga don't take it to his or whatever, but I'm accessory, I'm with him. And I held it, and I didn't know if it was cocked yet, so I cocked it to make sure it was ready, just in case somebody, but that died down. We were going on our way out. Police came in all kinds of ways, blocked the car, had guns drawn, and he was like, "Oh well, here's my license." I said, "What, nigga? Who?" He's like, "Here's my license." It was like, all right, they checked it. All right, license is active. This is you. All right, we're going to take the weapon down. We're going to run ballistics on it, make sure it wasn't involved in any crimes or whatever, and you could just come to the precinct and pick it up.
Oh,
and
wow.
when the cops got us, the gun wasn't cocked and ready. So the police officer said, if this guy was coming to you, because at that time the clip and everything was out, he said, you should have been ready to rock and roll. That is the police officer saying. If a man's coming to threaten your wife, she had the text messages and everything. A man that's threatening her. I'm mad as hell because my nose is itching. These niggas just sitting there laughing at me. The sergeant finally said, man, take the cuffs off, let the nigga scratch his nose. You know what I mean? But the fact that if you follow certain standards.
Right.
Again, if he wasn't registered, 5 years, no questions. So if you hold police officers who if you go through the proper certification, you go through classes, you go through all this stuff, learning the law, all this stuff, then you should be held to a higher standard.
Right.
It should be 5 years max, 5 years minimum. No questions. You break the law, you plant, you lie on a police report. Oh, just like it was a video. Guys handcuffed against the gate and cop just started hauling off on him. But then I watched the video today. Someone threw out the police report. He said the man charged him, and he had to defend himself. So pretty much he falsified a police document.
Right.
5 years. So until you start handing out shit like that, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So
we need to register guns, too.
Hey, doing it in New York, you ain't getting shit. You'd be lucky to get a BB gun. Jersey is not as strict as New York, but you pretty much have to be a police officer or some kind of federal person in New York to get some kind of gun or proper certification, like those armored cars or shit like that. And that. So, but no one said you can't do it. Turn yourself or people you with into a protection agency or stuff like that. Start reading your law. Start understanding your law. And yeah, you have the right to protect yourself. You truly do. But we're going to keep talking about this young lady. The more information comes out, the more we're going to discuss on her. We're going to bring her back next week. And I'm sure we're going to have more stuff to talk about Mr. Arbery and his situation. But all those people out there who's justice for Mr. Arbery, I want you to cry justice for Miss Taylor.
Yes.
Who was at home where you're supposed to feel the safest. And body was riddled with bullets, damn near naked, laying on that floor. And then her boyfriend gets arrested and charged with attempted murder. Now, mind you, he got bonded out. Child charges ain't been dropped yet. They bonded him out. What charges they be
They're
dropped?
not going to drop the charges until they
No, eventually they're going to.
have
But
to.
those same actors and all these people with great influences start coming to these young ladies' aid too. Start coming to these young ladies' aid too. Last words before we get out of here.
Well, I feel good. I was kind of stressed when I got here, but this is my medicine right here. So I
Man,
thank
it
you
is.
guys for tuning in. A lot of you tune in after we're recorded. So thank you to the people that do view the show after the show. And I meant to bring, I want to do a little thing about coping with stress because we are all stressed out.
So what we'll do
So
is
I'll do that
we'll
next
start
week.
implementing a few minutes
Yes.
of the show in the beginning to that. Yeah, we definitely do that.
Okay.
I do want to let you guys know this too. You still are able to go in some comments for us when you watch it later, if you want to comment on it. Also, if you go to our website, which is www.truevibetv.com, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom on the lower left-hand side, there's a place there where you can pick whatever show. If there's a topic or a subject you would like for us to discuss, you'll pick the show. You'll type in the topic or comment you want us to talk about and do. And then on top of that, you have to enter your email. But if you do not want us to mention your name, we will not. But we will be able to communicate with you back and forth and let you know when we will be discussing something you brought up, and we would love to give you a shout out online. So.
Thank you very much.